Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Look, it's been a minute since we've been on here live with you guys, but happy Friday.
You want to tell them why?
Tell them why.
Because you
It's
was
been a
injured.
minute.
You was on injured
Your
reserve.
girl was on the injury. I was on the sick and shut in list, y'all. I was on the injury reserve list. What else? What other kind of list they got for people being sick and out and dealing with injuries and stuff? Y'all, it's been like since like the beginning of the month, right?
Yeah, you was
To the
jammed
beginning of the
up.
month, since before the 4th of July, your girl has been nursing an injury. Thankful for House Washington for being there and taking care of me, even the babies, y'all, even the babies. So, but I'm back. I feel good. But probably at like 98%. Still got a couple of more, still got to, work it out and stuff like that a little bit more. But I'm all good and it's not preventing us from going live on today. Okay. So I am happy to be back in the midst with my people. Okay. So listen, as you guys are coming on to the live, whether you're watching us on Facebook or on our YouTube channel at Star Talk, welcome. If this is your first time viewing us, welcome. It's your girl Tamika L. Sims. I normally start off with that, but I was on something different today. So, but it's your girl Tamika L.
And
Sims.
you owe them apology. That's why you was on something different. I'm like,
Right, because I've been missing in action. We've been MIA.
there ain't no we. I mean,
Oh, I've been.
but you was on a sick and shedding list, and we know we wanted to make sure you good, and we're glad you good to go. You back
And
in
it's
the game.
crazy, y'all, because it's like as I tried to try to push myself and try to push it and say, girl, come on, you get it, you can do this. My body was like, no, you can't do this. Go sit down somewhere, go rest yourself, go to sleep. Okay. Y'all know how it is. But anyway, hope that you guys have been doing well. Hope that y'all had a great 4th of July. Let me see if we missed any birthdays, anniversaries, family reunions, graduations, like whatever y'all had going on. Come on and let us know how things are going for you and in your neck of the woods.
So yeah, what we talking about? Yeah, we did just have a birthday though. My daughter Sydney, the princess.
The princess of House Washington. I like that.
Yeah,
The princess.
so she's 15 now, and that's scary.
And your podcast episode just came out where Jay actually talks about what it's like raising an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So that
yeah.
was pretty
Somebody
exciting as well.
interviewed me about raising an entrepreneur, and so that's a cool situation. Shout out to him. What's his name?
Ernest James.
Yeah, Ernest James.
Girl
Dad discussions. Yeah. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
For that opportunity. So we had something on YouTube we wanted to talk about.
We had something on YouTube. So if you don't know by now, Bronny James suffered a cardiac arrest. I guess it was earlier this week.
Yeah.
Feels like the time's going by.
Beginning of the week.
But at the beginning of the week, he suffered cardiac arrest, and so of course, that took over our media and our news. We were having a discussion about it. So young, all of the things, and so of course, Jay and I were talked about it. We released a video about it on our channel earlier this week, but we've gotten some feedback that, of course, we wanted to come on and let's just have a discussion, have a real discussion. Y'all know what Star Talk is about: stand tall and claim victory every day. So it means that we are unafraid to tackle the hard things, and we're unafraid to come back and address comments and questions and things like that we've gotten on our videos. And so today is going to be one of those times. So as you are coming on, make sure you say hello to us and let us know how you are doing. I'm trying to look at the chat. Okay. Let us know how you are doing so that we can properly greet you. Okay. So here's one of the first things that we got, Jay. Okay, so we want to talk. We're just going to get right into it. So this person said, "Wow, that's his thoughts on this." Do you want to explain more what your thoughts were, because they didn't see the video before we go into this?
I can't, because I say what I say off the top of my head, so I can't give it to you verbatim. But my question that I asked was why? Why was this young man in this position where he was going that hard in his position, in a position in life, being that he's LeBron James' son? Why? And it's not just for my why. I want to know for everybody. And I don't want to give it away, but for me, I always look at the lottery ticket situation. And what that means is what a small amount of people do at the top affect what a lot of us do at the bottom, right?
Mhm.
And so when you have a kid like a Bronny James, who dad is LeBron James, arguably one of the best players to ever play the game, billionaire, net worth, and he's done what he's done in basketball. Does he have to be in a space where he can almost lose his life attempting to play basketball professionally? That is the why. Now it's for anybody's. It's not my interpretation, but now here's my interpretation. I think it's kind of crazy in a sense because what happens is if this young man decides he gets wet well and he goes and play basketball, the trickle down effect on the babies who parents are pushing them to play basketball, football, any other sport for other reasons besides having fun, getting to know a new people, having exercise, things of that nature, is going to intensify because Bronny James did it. He almost died and he's still playing basketball. There's no, you can't make an excuse why you can't do it. Knowing that making to the NBA is chances are slim to none for anybody, right? Um, there's other ways to get college scholarships outside of outside of sports. And let's just be frank, as African American individuals, you know, we got to get past this being the only way that our young men or women get an opportunity to go to higher education. That's my take on it.
Mm-hmm. So, of course, y'all know how it is. Stay out of the comments. I'm just kidding. But this person said, wow, that's his thoughts on this, shaking my head. So, here, this person actually had a few questions for you in their comments. So, we're going to talk about those. So, they said the why should be what's changed to cause this increase.
The increase in read the whole.
So the not wondering why a rich kid would want to make the league. His question should be why the sudden increase of young healthy kids worldwide have been collapsing with cardiovascular issues.
Why does it have to be one question?
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like individuals bug me out because of the fact that because I didn't ask the question that you asked, that don't make my question wrong. Mm-hmm. And your question isn't wrong. You're absolutely right. Why? Mm-hmm. And let's bring that into it. Yeah. Yes, a lot of those things we're having those conversations about. Now we're seeing we potentially could be seeing the ramifications of the COVID vaccine in babies. You know, climate control, food, a whole bunch of things can be the why. And that's a valid question. But your valid question doesn't invalidate mine. Right. And vice versa. So we have to stop thinking that, if somebody doesn't say what we say, that they're wrong. It's room for multiple people to be correct.
Yeah, and that's really so true. And even we were talking kind of off camera, just like because I remember you. I'm from South Carolina. If you guys don't know that, can't hear the Southern in my accent. But just being from South Carolina, of course, I've dealt with 100-degree temperatures plus growing up in the South. The heat just felt different when you were growing up in the Southeast. Okay, so it was just hot, like it wasn't whatever. But I was on the band, so I'm still out there band camp in the summertime with 100-degree plus weather in full uniform with the football team and all the things. But you didn't hear about kids collapsing and having heart attacks or passing away while they were mid practice. But today we're starting to hear that more and more. And it is something that we need to be talking about. Like we need to be looking at what's happening with our kids on both sides. As you were saying, like, so it does not invalidate Jay's question about that desire or family putting that desire in check. Because sometimes in the Black community, especially, our kids as seen are a way out. Like we bank on our kids, we'll invest all this money, we'll pull all these resources, we'll take out loans just to make sure that we're giving our kids every opportunity
to play a sport.
Not
the same money
right
that's not being put into extra classes. That's not being put into putting them in summer school, summer youth employment programs or summer youth development programs to where they can catch up. Mm-hmm. AAU costs money,
Right?
A lot of money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And as parents, that's kicking out $500 a month on AAU, and when they kid can't go to summer camp once a week for $100 a week or $150 a week, and they complain about that, or somebody have an issue with daycare. So these are the conversations, the real conversations we need to have.
And then the other thing is James, of course, we're out here. Vegas is a big basketball city. There's basketball happening all the time. And I can't tell you guys the number of times you walk up on dads screaming, yelling, cussing out their 8, 9, 10-year-old son because they missed the basket, wasn't shooting the free throws or whatever the case may be. Like that kind of pressure at such a young age, we don't want to, or we shouldn't want to enforce on our children. Like your child can't live your dreams for you. You know what I mean? Like if you had a dream to play a sport and maybe you didn't get as far as you thought, don't put that pressure on your kid to make them bear that responsibility. And so I think that we're seeing a lot more of that, which, in turn, it doesn't look good in my opinion, right? It's not working out favorably, or as I would think that these families would want it to be.
Yeah, I've seen that same thing, and it's kind of crazy. Like I've literally seen parents like call, fathers call they dudes names that if you call another dude in the street that name, you gonna scrap. And like because of them having a bad basketball game, wow, my man Gene said this happened on the football field last week with 7-year-olds.
That is crazy.
I just can't. When I call somebody out of their name like that, I gotta feel a way towards you, and I can't never think I can feel that way about my son. Like he'd have to really do something bad to me, and I still don't know if that's gonna happen because that's just something I just don't know that if it would happen. But I've heard like literally parents call jokers something that if you called me that, we gotta fight, and so that's your son. That's crazy, man. That was nuts.
Yeah, he said grown man curse words at 7-year-olds is ridiculous. It is.
Yeah, they've been and it's like you said, we go because we AAU with JJ. My son play AAU, and I would be going into the game, and there'd be another dude have his son outside hemmed up. You soft, you this, you this, you let him do. Like I had my conversation with my son, but I'm not about to make him feel away because he didn't have a great game. He don't always have a good game. But I just it's because that's not what I'm banking on. I'm not banking on him to make it to the NBA for me to live my life. Or for him to have a good life. It's so many other ways, for that to happen. So that's my whole point of my situation, because the trickle down effect is that if the rich kids, go ahead and push through damn near dying to be in the NBA when they don't have to, that means in this country that our kids have to. Because that's what happens. Like we gotta understand, and that's I'm giving y'all one of my book titles. My book title, Lottery Ticket, right? Because we have this lottery ticket syndrome in this country, and that's that all it takes is for one. We think about the lottery, right? How many people played to get that $1 billion thing, right? Millions and millions of people played, and only one person won, and we're okay with that. We're okay with that when a bunch of people could have did something else to make $1 million. But that same money, the same resources that they pool, some people got the people in their office that they don't even like, and it's 8 of them. They work together for 6 weeks straight, putting in money to go ahead and try to get this thing. Like you got to understand the things we do for the lottery ticket. And a lottery ticket is more than just this in life. The lottery ticket becomes making your kid go to the NBA. The lottery ticket becomes making your kid be a rapper, like super successful, or actor, or this or that. And again, I love all of those scenarios, but I had to find out that my son can be a professional referee at 13 years old, can be paid. I found out that referees get paid $800,000 a year. Okay. And you understand what I'm saying? And he can actually be that. And he still has to be in shape. He's still around the game of basketball that he loved, and he can still have an amazing career being a referee or an executive. You know, he can music executives that make more money than the rappers or the singers. He can do that if that's what he wants to do. I'm not getting away from you want to be an actor. It's people that work in the studios or run their own studios or produce that make more money. So like it doesn't have to be the lottery ticket. It's easier ways for us to get our kids to being successful and have what they need to have without going through hell.
So Maurice said, I'm a basketball ref, and I hear that type of language towards players of all ages, from parents, coaches, and fans. While CL said, our words matter. And Gene Debatey,
Yeah, Gene.
oh,
Yep, you can. Because when I was starting my team for my son, and I met a professional ref. Now he's retired from the NBA. They have pipelines now. They have a referee pipeline where you can go ahead and literally start your kid at 13 and run them through the AAU circuit as a ref. All you just got to be refing like two grades down. So at 13 you can ref like 7, 8 year olds, that type of thing, and then keep it going. But yeah, you can again. This is a profession, but we don't take the time for that, and we're so busy trying to fit this square peg into a round hole, and so when you come to Bronny James, who's worth $7 million at this point, he's already worth $7 million. He's not. I don't even know this kid, but I love this kid. I love his game as a basketball player. I love how he handles the spotlight. Love everything about him. I don't know him, but from what I've seen, I love everything about him. So I don't not want him to not play basketball. At the same time, is the risk that when you've done all the basketball you need to do. Bronny can start his own league right now, literally, and they'll sponsorship pay him $10 million a year to create an AAU league with his name on it. This kid was one of the headline commercials of the Fast and Furious 10 movie. Like, he's there. Why do my kids have to go through the hell that I went through? LeBron James went through hell to be an NBA star and to be who he is. Why do my kid have to go? If I got eight knee surgeries. Right. So I want my kid to have 8 knee surgeries to say he a professional? If he love the game, he love the game. I'm cool with that. But you don't have to go through my kids do not have to go through what I went through to be successful. They got their own problems that they're going to have to deal with. And so you don't have to go through mine. That's crazy.
I feel like though, but that's the thing though, right? It's understanding that as parents, it's our responsibility to make it easier for our children, right? And I know that there seems to be two different ways of looking at even that. Some people are like, oh well, you don't want to save your kids from the struggle or whatever the case may be, but that's not the point.
It's not saving your kids from the struggle. Right. It's like I get that part too. Mm-hmm. Like you want them to earn whatever it is that they get. But I'm saying that your kids shouldn't go through your struggle, right? Not their struggle, your struggle. You don't know what their struggle is because they're still living life. But I grew up with rats and roaches. I grew up with 15 people in one house. I grew up with people using crack, smoking weed, doing everything in the household, cigarettes, everything. I grew up with that. I had to go through that situation. My kids don't. There's no way in hell they would go through that. That's nuts. Now, am I cleaning up my kid room for him or her? No, they clean up their own damn room. I ain't washing their clothes. No, they wash dishes at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, they gotta. No, we're not taking them from that. I don't care if my daughter get a job. My job is to make sure she don't have to get a job. And none of my kids have to work. Now, if she gonna work, go work. But you don't have to work. That's the thing. You're a kid. You don't have to pay my bills. I pay my own damn bills. But that's the difference. Yeah, my daughter wants a job bad, and she's an entrepreneur. She got 2 books, and she still wants a job. You know what? I ain't about to stop her. I ain't about to stop her because she's going to learn from working. She's going to learn from working. She's going to meet people. She's going to understand how businesses ran. I got to get this guy's name. You can look him up. Okay. I got and anybody in here who's sports fans. What's the gentleman, the ex NBA player that owns? He's the biggest African American franchisee of Wendy's and Chili's. He played basketball in the 70s. But this gentleman played in the NBA, retired, and started working at Wendy's so that he can then go and own Wendy's. And now he's the only, I mean, he's the biggest franchiser. Junior Bridgman. Yes, Lima. Thank you. Yes, he is learning from me. And that's fine. But it's nothing wrong with jobs, man. Like it's nothing wrong with jobs. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. Everybody don't need to be an entrepreneur. Please don't come over here, and I need to hire people.
Right.
If everybody got their own damn job, then like everybody working for themselves, who gonna work for somebody?
No, that's right.
Who's a real entrepreneur? Hey, mama.
And we're not
Dr. Smith, how you doing?
We're not stimulating the economy that way. Like, we're not doing any other things.
But everybody not fit for this.
Right.
Everybody not fit for this entrepreneurship situation. Some people need a job. Some people need a job. You know, some people should go to work somewhere. Stop coming. Like, everybody don't need to come out here. I'm gonna teach my daughter. But if my daughter wanted to be a dentist, I can't teach her that. Right. So if Dr. Smith is on here, this is my dentist in Maryland, Dr. Smith, Craig Smith, that's my guy. If my daughter moved to Maryland and said she want to be a dentist, I'm hollering at Dr. Smith. Can you hire my daughter?
CEO said hire him.
Can you hire my daughter? This is, especially in our community, we got to knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, other communities get past us because they get it. Like, if you can't teach your son how to be a dentist or a doctor, but there's a doctor across the street from you, send him over there and let him work for him. I mean, he ain't working for nobody. Let him go over there and work for him. Let him get some mentorship. Let him learn some stuff. And then it's not saying you have to work for the rest of your life. Maybe they're working for 10 years so they can create and be a mentor just like that other company, other people mentoring them. It's a phase that you got to go through, but we all just jumping right out to being, we got it all. And that's just a lie. How's that, the Dr. Phil question, how's that been working out for our community? It hasn't been. Mm-mm. And so this lovely young man has cardiac arrest, which means he could have passed away, which would have sucked real bad. Yeah. You know, horrible, right? And Shaq's son, not too long ago, Sharif O'Neal, a few years ago, had a heart issue playing for not UNLV, I'm gonna say UNLV, I'm in Vegas, UCLA. Then we just found out that last year, 4 kids in Vegas Valley died playing sports. It is other questions that have to be asked about vaccines and the food that the kids are eating and all that other stuff, you know, with the global warming and, you know, it's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't know. But what I'm saying is, if I went and bust my behind and now I'm a billionaire and my child almost died trying to do what I did, we're going to have a different conversation. Because, baby boy, I did that. Right. I did that, been there, done that, got a t-shirt. You know, so if you love it, we're going to find a different way for you to, you know, finagle it. Because you don't have to do it for money. Because doing it for money is going to require you to push that again. You know what I'm saying? Going to require you to have to go this hard to do it for money. Now, do you want to be around basketball? Do you want to be LeBron helped his friend become one of the biggest basketball agents in the world. So you can't tell me he can't help his son become play basketball as much as he wants for money? Bronny J, they will pay ABC, NBC, right. Fox, ESPN will pay to see Bronny James play 2-on-2. They will pay for that. So all I'm saying is some adjustments got to be made. Should be. That's on me. That's how I feel about it.
So here's my question to you. Are we even teaching, though, that there a few things? Are we teaching that there's another way to success, right? Not outside of, like you're saying, the lottery ticket syndrome. Everybody doesn't have to be a sports player. There are other professions out there that make lots of money. Are we teaching that in our families? And then the other thing is are we even teaching our children that there is something that you can do because you love it, not because you want to make money from it?
You know, I hope so. I know we are at my house, but yeah. It's just like one of those things where, and this is where I Won't Starve came from. and what we do now in our nonprofit, and we target these kids because it's the opportunities we want to talk. We want to give the kids and tell the kids about all the potential opportunities that they have to them. So entrepreneurship is one of them. When we were growing up, we got to high school, got to a certain, they start, first of all, they definitely, your guidance counselor looking at you like, oh, if you was the knucklehead in high school, they wasn't going to tell you, that you can go be a doctor. They're going to be like, hey, you might need to go get a trade, which really wasn't doing us a disservice now, but it felt like that because we wanted to hear that we can do anything like everybody else. But they wasn't talking about entrepreneurship. They wasn't giving us the opportunity to potentially be a business person. And then you had those family members say, you're going to go get what you call a real job. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that sucks. Like, kids know what they want to do when they become about 14, 15 years old, 16 years old. Like, they know what they're good at right now. And today, some of those things probably wasn't jobs back in the day, but they are jobs now. So if your kid's being a loser, if you call them a loser on a video game, there's money for them to be made on the video game. It's up to you to go out there and start figuring out the ways to make sure that they understand that they can earn money. They can actually learn from playing video games, not just going on there playing Fortnite and game whatever that thing is, Grand Theft Auto and all that other stuff like that. But hey, you can be a gamer. Take them, invest the money instead of investing in AAU. Invest the money and go to a gaming thing and let them compete as a gamer and do that other stuff. Like, we gotta be more creative than buying a Louis bag. You know what I'm saying? Like that $1,000 could have went to your kid, investing in your kid into something. I had my son doing I had my daughter too, she hated it, but doing coding, online coding classes this summer. You know what I mean? Yeah, my daughter hated it because she's already did it and it was like kind of but my son loved it. Like, that's an investment. Like, we gotta start trying different things, man. But it's a little bit more than just basketball, football, and can you spit a rhyme? Like, come on, man. Like, it's so much more to it than that, and we gotta do better than that.
Yep. So we got a few comments. So Jean said, "Here's another one. Rashawn told me that soccer academies in America on average is $8,400, and Europe is free."
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. And Lima said, "Passion versus purpose." Hey, Mr. Willie, thank you for checking in. We got Derek checking in. Gia, we love so much.
Big ballin'.
We need to start glorifying traditional jobs and entrepreneurship. Absolutely.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Because again, at the end of the day, this is automatic pathways to success.
Yes.
With the regular, like you said, traditional jobs like doctors, lawyers, dentists, people who solve problems.
Yes.
And then even in entrepreneurship, if you have a business that doesn't solve problems, then you do this. This is a problem, because everybody wants a business because they just want to do something, or they don't want to go to work. But you have to solve a problem. So if you're an IT specialist, you solve problems. You're an engineer, you solve problems. If you're a doctor, you solve problems. You're a lawyer, you solve problems. You're an accountant, you solve problems. Like, and you guys are not having trouble finding jobs. There's always something to do, right? So, and then if you're an entrepreneur, you actually solve problems. And then if you got a problem to solve, you got to worry about who like you. You got to worry about, nobody supporting me. Right. They need what you offering. Right. I don't never get no issues when I sit down and have conversations and I start telling people I help people get government contracts. I want somebody out the room always want to have a conversation with me further past that time. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Like, because that's what that is. So if you're not solving problems, then that's the issue. That's where the issue comes in at. We got to teach our kids about solving problems. Entertainment is not always solving problems. Right. And again, my daughter loves to sing. She goes to a performing arts academy right now. I'm cool with that. I want her to do that. At the same time, I'm telling her clear as day, hey, this is not, you don't have to be the big super singer. You still gonna be okay. And I'm showing her ways to make that happen without you having to be a super, you don't have to be Beyonce to be good. Because the truth of the matter is, it's only one of her. That's right. You go find me 100 billionaire singers. You can't. But it's a lot of singers that's taking care of their families at a high level and that's good. That's productive citizens. They're living very, very well, and we don't talk about them. We only talk about the lottery ticket, the one that's a billionaire, or the two that's billionaires. It's so many. We're dealing with right now what we got going on with this strike in Hollywood. It's because this is where the education portion comes in at. Because there's so many people that's not rich, and you think they're rich because they're actors. You know what I'm saying? And they're supposed to be rich because they're actors. And the lottery ticket ones that you see, you know what I'm saying? That's the ones you're thinking about. The lottery ticket. You're not thinking about the one that did 5 commercials and 10 commercials this year, and now they stopped showing their commercials, and now they're not getting a check. They're not getting a residual check. It's like these are the ones that they're talking about. Or they were writing, they wrote for a big show that was 8 seasons, and now that's over. And now they don't get no residuals from it. They just was getting their paycheck while the show was going on. We are lacking education. I think we got some more comments.
Yeah, Lima said you have to also factor where AI is going to take over. Automation is a real thing. So we talked about that the other day, right? We were talking about Netflix. Speaking of, actors and writers, we were talking about Netflix. Not sure if you guys saw, but Netflix created a job up to 900. That's paying up to $900,000, one position, to be an AI program manager. So you're right, Lima. We definitely have to think about that, because our world, technology. We're just going to have to grow with it. But even still, I think that there are some things that we still need to have conversations about, and certain encouragements that we need to have for ourselves, our kids, and those that are going to come behind us.
Yeah, that AI thing is real, but the funny thing, while we worry about our baby shooting a jump shot, they're the ones that we need to be investing in learning about AI. Because I don't consider myself old, but we old enough to where we get stuck in our ways, and we don't want to get into certain situations. But our babies are ripe for the picking, and if they understand AI, if they navigate that space, you can invest in them, so that they can be where they need to be and move your family forward. But we got to look at it like that. I mean, that money that's being put into the soccer thing, like Gene just said, and basketball and football and all that other stuff like that. That none of that. I mean, it needs to be proportioned properly to where some of that is getting put into our kid learning how to do AI, learning how to do coding, learning how to deal with software and work on these computers and like the right way, so that they won't be left behind, because we're coming up on a generation that's not going to have a lot of jobs, because they keep pushing that everybody don't need a damn job. Right. So since none of y'all want to work, we'll get a computer or a robot to work for you. And this is what happened, dummies. This is what happened. Y'all don't want to work. You're not creating any businesses that's moving the needle, that's helping anybody do anything or solving any problems. So you know what? We'll create a robot. And the robot's going to do it. They're not going to talk back. They don't get sick. You know what I'm saying? And that's what this is. I mean, this is what it is.
You're exactly right.
This is what it is. Like, we was crazy when we said 20 years ago that we were going to be entrepreneurs. 20-something years ago, I'm in college at 19, 20 years old, and me and my homeboy, we invested in a restaurant, all this other stuff. I'm selling clothes, going back and forth from New York, we're selling clothes, and people at a black college were saying, I'm crazy. Get a job. That means that we were the crazy people to be entrepreneurs at that time. And they understood that because everybody wanted a job. And that's fine, because you were supposed to be crazy, because you were the one who was going to change the narrative. But now everybody want to be the crazy person. Everybody want to go to boot camp now. Everybody signed up to go to boot camp. That's what that is. Yeah. This ain't easy. Doing your own business ain't easy. I don't know who told y'all that thing looked cute, and y'all keep watching that stuff on social media.
That's who told them.
Oh my God!
They think everybody being on private jets. Y'all don't know, people just be taking pictures in it. But anyway, that's a conversation for another thing. But but there's this glorification that's happening through the media, on the internet, the people that we follow. So we're developing imposter syndrome. We're dealing with insecurities. We're struggling with the spirit of comparison. because of what people are allowing us to see. And so we just got to be mindful. We got to wake up. There's a lot happening in our world. That's why I appreciate us having these conversations with you guys. And of course, now that I'm off the injury reserve list, we're going to be back to doing these weekly, because we really enjoy, connecting with y'all, and, having these open and honest discussions where we can be frank, where differing of opinions can come into it, and where we can really just, build on each other.
What else they say?
The other comments. Sorry. I got all off the thing.
No, I want to make sure we, for them, for our YouTube viewers,
Gotcha.
Want to make sure that we're commenting with them, because this Facebook friend, this our family, so we can get kicking it with our family and forget about everybody else.
All right. So the other comment on YouTube was, I believe that so much can be said about why behind the reasons they do what they do, despite their financial and celebrity status. Culturally, most Black and brown families have the mindset that everything must come out the mud, meaning you got your wealth the best way you can, but whatever you do, don't allow anybody to help you, which goes into a deeper mindset of why not allow someone to help. So that was another comment that was received on the video.
What do you think about that? I'm tired of the mud.
Yeah, I'm tired.
I'm sorry. I think I'm so tired of the mud. I'm getting to the point where I'm tired of the mud. I think we need something else past the mud.
I know we need something else past the mud. I mean, I appreciate. Well, of course, we talked about this, that people that do get it out of the mud, because, in my opinion, they have a different testimony, right? They have a different sense of a story that can be told, and we need those stories. We need the stories of the people who didn't have to get it out of the mud, just as much as we need the stories of the people who got out of the mud, just like we need the stories of the people who tried and failed, and we need the people who tried and succeeded, right? If you need to know about that, check out Jay's latest book, Business Corner, What's Really Needed to Survive the Entrepreneurial Fight. We talk a lot about that. But yeah, definitely, I don't know that we have the mindset that everything got to come from out of the mud, because to me that's an absolute statement.
Everybody keeps saying, like, everybody keep talking that mud, and there's even people who ain't never been to the mud, ain't seen the mud,
ain't never made a mud pie growing up, like nothing,
and they keep using the mud, so they don't wore the mud out. And I don't want you to go to the mud, brother, sister, please stay away from the mud. I promise you. It's easier ways than the mud. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so when they talk about, we are making it, and and I got people who I know, who I love, it's like we're forcing testimonies. You don't have to. It's like that person who we used to see back in the day when we was in the street, who got the mother and father, and they got jobs and they got all the stuff, but they still on the corner with us. Like, it took guts for somebody to say, like, yo, why you out here? Like, you don't have to be out here. You know what I'm saying? And so we got to do the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to be going through this hell. Why are you going through the hell? Because it sends a bad message. You know what I mean? It sends a bad message. I totally agree, Molly. We have to create sustainable, profitable businesses. Yeah, like, we got to go back to the education of what that really is, mama. Like, for real, because like we don't know. We just think that I can work for myself. That's the number one thing that everybody want to do, is I can do this for myself. And yes, nobody's saying that that's not a fact, but a business is not for you. Entrepreneurship is selfless. It's not selfish. How is your community affected by the thing that you created? So when you think about that bank that's there, when you think about that, it's not made for everyone. Right. That grocery store, when I'm doing my nonprofit, when I can walk into the grocery store, and because my nonprofit that I created, we created a situation, and then I leave out of that grocery store with $1,200 worth of gift cards to go ahead and feed the people. We've created something. That's what a business do. You can't do that when you just doing what you do for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to create something. And then when you are tagged, giving out a certain amount of money every year, because you're helping out with the schools and the development and upkeep of this neighborhood, that's a business. We got it twisted. And so, coming back to how this conversation started, We all, when Bronny James or his dad or LeBron James come on TV, you got millions of people watching at one time. And what the decisions that they make affect everybody according to what you might not believe it, but it does. And so if LeBron James says, because my son had this type of situation happen to him, he's not going to pursue going to the NBA anymore, the trickle down effect on basketball is going to, like youth sports and basketball is going to be crazy. If he tells him that he still will, the trickle down effect is going to be crazy. The question is, what side of the coin you want to be on? I think that if that boy is in that space, hey, I'm making adjustments. That's just me. That doesn't make me wrong because you want to do something different. Because if my son looked like he like something wrong with him now, I'm not doing it. And I'm not nowhere near LeBron James when it comes to financial status. So we set these examples for our communities, and we don't even realize it, and we have to be responsible for it. And if you want to be an entrepreneur, that's what that is. When you make a business and you create a business, you have to know that you're bringing this into a community. You have to be responsible for what that business says about that community. What does it look like? This type of business y'all doing over here? I mean, tell me restaurants you see that you say I ain't going over there. That's not your. Oh no, that's the one where everybody hang out in front of the store. I'm not going to that restaurant. That's the type of people y'all have over there. Oh, there's a bunch of shooters over there. Or, they got the stuff boarded up. That's the one you want to go into? Is that the one you want to put your nice clothes on and go to? I'm telling you, it speaks for the rest. It speaks for you. Oh no, this is perfect for here. That's not what that is. And we got to stop being okay with that. It's so many things. And I'll close with, we watching Ice Cube do his tour right now about the Big Three. And he's saying how the NBA is giving him a hard time. He created an alternative scenario for black people to make money playing basketball, being a 3-on-3 basketball, and it's having issues. He's having issues, right? It's so many ways. Ice Cube said something that was amazing. He said, "Do you know how many people? Is way more people play 3-on-3 than they play 5-on-5." We don't know. We didn't realize that, and there's money to be made playing 3-on-3, 2-on-2. Why? Who's going to create the league that had a 1-on-1 tournaments, the sudden death tournaments? Who's going to? You understand what I'm saying? Like, wake up. We don't have to just keep running into the same damn thing trying to make ourselves some money. Use our brains. We get gifted and creative to go get the Louis bag, the Gucci bag, to take the trip, to scam, to do all that other stuff. Let's get creative and let's try to do what we can to save our babies.
I love it. I love it. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in for another Star Talk Live. Again, we are back to doing these weekly. We have missed you guys. We've missed this energy exchange. So we're looking forward to having more in-depth discussions about the topics that are important to us as well as the topics that are important to you. So if you have something that you want us to discuss on camera, if you want to join us as a guest one week, we welcome that. Please definitely hit me in the DM or hit Jay in the DM, and we can get this thing worked out and get it scheduled, because we look forward to that, and we want that. We want it, right? So we're not afraid to shy away from tough subjects. We're not afraid to say things that everybody doesn't have to agree. We don't want groupthink. We don't want any of that. We want people with valuable opinions and thoughts to come to the table, and let's have an open-hearted discussion about it, right? Where everybody leaves empowered and informed to go on and make a change in their personal world. So thank y'all again so much for watching us. Any final thoughts from you?
Hey, enjoy yourselves. If you anywhere, they said over, wow, like 150 million people under in the country right now is under heat advisory. So that's more than a third of the country's population is under heat advisory right now. So everybody stay safe.
Stay hydrated, drink your water.
Yeah, stay hydrated and all that other stuff. That's the most important thing, because it's definitely crazy. We out here in Vegas, so it's normal here. But I said up on the north side, northeast, is about to get a heat wave. The Midwest is getting it. So y'all just be careful, man. That's what I say.
I was even seeing something about the power grid.
Yeah, it's
trying
just
to keep up with like the heat
they
and
said
all the things.
July is about to go on record for being the hottest month ever
Mm,
recorded.
mm.
Oh, this is all the world, not just in America, the world.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
So I heard news reports of that. So that's, if anything, I say y'all
Yeah.
be safe with this heat,
Yeah.
and just find a place real cool and chill and all that other stuff
We're
right there.
like, you're
Find a
gonna
pool.
turn up, low key.
Yeah, find a pool.
Right, find a pool or spring. Y'all know we did. What I did when I grew up, right? So we would run through the water holes and stuff. Y'all know how it is. Like, you don't got to be all
They
fancy.
too
Just have a good time.
sedity now.
They
They
don't
too
want
high
to do the water
sedity.
holes no more.
They
But
too
how
high
they gonna make the
sedity.
mud pies anyway? Listen, we love y'all. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I know it's almost time for the babies to get back to school. So if you're planning any last minute trips, enjoy yourself. Stay safe out there. As we said, stay hydrated. Drink your water. Drink your Gatorades. Keep your body up on your electrolytes. Like, let's all do our part to make sure that we are staying healthy, and maintaining. So if you need us, we are here for you. As we said, if you want to ever join us or have a topic, please just hit us in the DMs. If you are not followed, if you're on Facebook and you're not connected to us on our YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It's youtube.com/, and you got to use the @ at S.T.A.R.V.E Talk, where we provide daily content to help uplift, inspire, and motivate you to be better in your life and in your business. All right, so y'all have a great day, have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next time and in our next video. Bye.